The new way is quite old, and the history is also somehow the future. The ways in which we have abandoned what was a natural lineage and trajectory towards brilliance are ways we will have to reclaim and reconnect in order for, at minimum, survival in the world we are literally building right now. Peace, my name is Stacy Patrice. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to start today because I was resting, thus the robe. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to be the most creative person possible. Now, this is not a thought I've had in recent decades because the last time I felt like this, I was actually already doing it. I was already being as creative as possible. I was already, handling multiple different creative ideas at once. And it comes to the point where you have to say, what happened? What happened? And, very generically, people always say all the time, generically but accurately, life happened. And life did happen, right? Life did happen. I am 100%, someone who can pinpoint and name all of the things and the ways in which life has happened. And some of them are worth talking about, and some of them are not even worth my breath. But they all have formed this idea of life happening. So, what happened to the creativity? What happened to creative stays that used to do it all, that used to do it all for herself and also for other people? And the short answer is weariness. The short answer is you get to a point where you give and give and give and you get tired. And you don't get tired because you're giving from a cup that's empty. You're full, you're wealthy, but energetically you may have found that directing your energy is so much more important than scattering it. Energetically, you may find that what you need is seven, eight, nine different interests, hobbies, career paths, side hustles to express. You have found being expressed in one place. You might even find that some of the things that you love the most, you have absolutely zero interest in them becoming something that you have to sustain yourself with or by or through. You may get to the point where you say, I love doing this, this, and this, and I just want to stay loving it. I don't ever want to get to the place where I can't stand it because of the politics and the games that I have to play in order to make this thing pop in my life. You may say, no one respects what I already know about a thing that I already do. And I don't have the energy to educate people to respect it. And so, therefore, I am in a place where my level of respect for it is going to be maintained on my terms. And that might mean that the public doesn't catch wind of what I'm doing until they also are on a level of respect. And until then, it'll just be my wonderful thing that I do that I love to do. This is not only possible, this is probable for a lot of people because there are industries that not only take and often extract genius, creativity, and energy, but they also change the shape of it. They change the energy around it. They turn it into something that it is not. And that is just the nature of capitalism. That's the nature of what happens when our things are met by an industry voice or industry approval. And here's what's historical and ancient that is also the future, which is being our most creative selves. This new idea that's not new in terms of just the idea, but new to me at this time, because at this time, this seems like the most counterintuitive thing to do because it's like, man, these prices, this inflation, this economy, yada, yada, yada. It seems like the most counterproductive thing to do. But when I think about what ancestors on ancestors on ancestors and societies and cultures have always had when they had nothing, some of the most impoverished countries produce beautiful art. Why would this country be any different? Some of the most, you know, um, ancient societies left things that we still remember and live off of now through art. So when we talk about art, most of us talk about collectors, people who purchase art, people who uh, have the capital to buy it from you and put it on their wall. But what I want to talk to you about is art as it relates to like the same way people collect degrees and achievements. Do that with your art, not as a degree, not as an achievement, but as your life. What do you want to say? And whatever you want to say, you have to run to the medium that's going to allow you to say it right in that moment. And this is a practice I've had for a while, but it's not a public practice I've had for a while. So there are times when my mind needs steadying. It's like, I need something that's going to soothe my mind. And so picking up something that's very challenging and utilizing that thing to express myself may not be the most settling thing because I'll come out of it before I get to the part that's really good that allows me to achieve what I already knew coming into it. I already knew that there was something I wanted to say. But for instance, for me, if I pick up my bass and try and find the sound and try and find the bass line and try and find this and try and find that on my path, in my practice, that's not the tool that's going to help me steady my mind. That's the tool that's going to discipline me when I need discipline and I'm hungry and I'm ready to find it and work on it and work for it. That is when it's time for me to pick up my bass. When it's time for me to just express myself in the most raw expression, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come through words first. But it often comes through writing because it's more honest and vulnerable. And then occasionally it comes through drawing because it's me creating beauty out of something that feels anything but that. It's like me relieving the situation with beauty. What I'm saying to you is that we all have the ability to not just be multi passionate, but multi hyphenate, but our multis are still one. We think that these are 15 different things, 7 different things, 4 different things, 3 different things. They're all one. It is our quest in life to understand what that seed really is. What is the seed that makes all of these expressions come out and come forward? What is it about them that they are all connected through this one stream? This is not the same as in order to be an artist, you have to pick one thing and you have to be good at that one thing and steady that one thing. This is not the same as you can only do one thing at a time. This is a whole other thing that is more natural and creative and more constructive than either of those viewpoints for most of us. This is whatever it is that thing is, that current that's running through your life. Let it have all the exposure and expression it needs. Do not stifle it. As a matter of fact, feed it. As a matter of fact, go places where it can explore its voice. Allow yourself to pick up absolutely anything and have a creative moment, an artistic expression, and a following of this current to the waterfall. Follow the current all the way to the waterfall. And the waterfall, of course, is where you just open up and that expression just shines. But most people would say, but how is this related to how I'm going to make it? I don't see how I can do this. And here's also what I'm saying. Follow it. Because when you have drive and you have purpose and you have focus and you are allowing yourself to be grateful and expressive in all of the divine gifts and all of the things that are available to you in the world and available right outside of your window, if you see a twig and some leaves, there is art that can be made from that. And it doesn't have to be crunchy. It can be as fabulous, as imaginative, as abstract, as weird, as simple, as beautiful, as historic, as cultural, as remembering, as presencing, as future building, as you would like it to be. Because you are the current that runs through all of your art. It's you. You are the one. And the seeds you plant are what you are blooming, what is blossoming this season. And so if you're not feeding that, if you're not giving that space to express, feed it, give it space to express, find out what it is not, and then express what it is. If you're not going through this motion, then all you're doing is just being dumped on. And then it accumulates. And then when you've had it up to here, you have nowhere to go because it's gone all the way up past your understanding that this is your consciousness, is that you're just here to receive what everybody else does. But you should be looking at what everybody else does to the point where it makes you upset that you're not jumping in and joining the fun. That everyone gets to have fun with you. Nah, not everybody gets to have fun, but you are part of the equation. Everybody's waiting for you to have fun too. Come on, come outside and play with us. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Right? You have gifts, you have things to say, you have things that you can do. You are fly, you are dope, you have all of these things that you're able to express, but they're just kind of like locked up, trapped up. And the reason that they are is because you believe that they're sacred, and they are. And you don't have to share any of it with anybody. But you got to let it come out. And when you let it come out, you can't stop yourself. People are going to see it. People are going to ask. People are going to want some. They're going to want a piece of it. And so you don't even have to worry about that part. But if you are waiting for their demand first, before you get to the place where you still express yourself, you don't have to educate them. And you don't even have to hold it and wait until they are ready. You just have to let it out. Let it out the bag. I've told myself this so many times. And so many times when I come on here, it's because it's coming out this way, right? It's art. I might have, drawn it, written it, dreamt about it, thought about it. And then it's like, well, share that because you can't be the only one going through this. You can't be the only one feeling this. And also, you are surrounded by people who are just like you. That's what magnetism is. These are people who also feel these things, also experience these things. And maybe they just bumped into this video today because it was the time for them to come out of whatever it is you're coming out of. That's what this is. It is a sharing of creativity. And so, yes, I have books in motion. Yes, I have drawings in motion. I have art that I can sell. I have words that I've written and I've turned them into songs. I have bass lines that play in my head. I have, fashion designs that I'm creating and working on. I have all of these things and then some. In addition to the teaching and educating I'm doing, in addition to the consultations I'm doing with people who want more creativity in their lives and want their lives to blossom in such a fashion, including the ways in which I feed myself, which is to dance and to move and to meditate and to be in nature and enjoy all these things, in addition to, larger structures and institutions that I'm helping to build. All of these things are valuable to me. And you would be surprised to know that most of them came about from me not getting paid for them. They came about because I was just genuinely interested in them. And I know that there is huge payoff in that genuine interest for years and years upon decades and decades. I know that studying psychology for decades is not going to amount in me saying, that's some trash, that's some garbage, I don't care anything about it. I know that it has helped all of the people I have encountered in some way if they have encountered the work that has come out of that understanding. Like I rock with people. I love people. I don't love the resistance that people give when you dare to be yourself and they decide that it threatens them for you to be so gung ho about being you that they want to quiet your voice so theirs can seem loud and proud without your reflection in their presence. That's what I don't love. But what I do love is when I decide to do it anyway because I've always done it and your opinion doesn't matter to me. And I keep going and I mess up your algorithm because you want me to do something in a uniform way. And I'm saying, nah, it's going to be whatever it is, whenever it is, because that's the way that life works. And that is the way creativity works. Is it's eccentric and it's crazy and chaos makes the best creativity. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. That's what brings me to life. That's what makes me feel alive wherever I am. That's what helps me meet all the wonderful people I know, has me have serendipitous, wonderful, amazing experiences. That's where my intuitions, my downloads, all this comes from. And you know what? Not only is that ancient, but it is divine. And that is the place where sacredness comes into play. It is divine. All that means is how dare you not acknowledge it, follow it, express it, share it, be it. You have to, because without that, the very essence of what is your life and your soul is sucked dry by whatever this other force is that benefits from you not pursuing your divine right. Mm, 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 mm. And so when you get to the point that you bump into that and you realize that that's what's in operation. I don't want you to get realistic and logical. I want you to find new ways to be out of your mind, and I mean that in the complete yogic context. Be out of your mind. Do not lock into predictability. Do not lock into conformity. Do not lock into logic. Make those words lies by the example of your life. Make your life sing without relying solely on the trend, the group, or the herd, the logic, the predictability, the conformity of a thing. That is not where we are. That is not working. Some people are like, oh, it's working for me because I have this and I have that, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But that's a partial truth. That part is working for you. That does not mean this is working. You have to get to the place where you understand what your functionality needs. Know yourself, as I was saying, know your mechanism so well that you understand what your functionality needs. And it does not necessarily grow, blossom, and expand in the same way that others do. I'll give you an example. The past 2 weeks of my life, I have watched people who claim to be friends of mine. I said they claim to be friends of mine. I have watched them hate on me, try and pretend they don't see me, ignore me as I step out of what made them comfortable. And the reason I'm saying this is because I was never focused on what made them comfortable, but their behavior showed me inevitably what I do that keeps them comfortable. Because the second I step out of it, they watch, they get real silent. And then everyone around me who's doing the same thing as me, they big them up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then they go silent for me. And the reason is because it's that thing I'm talking about. It's that when the thing starts shaking and you're like, wait a minute, what is it doing now? How did that happen? What, who, huh? What? It's because magic. It's because magic. It's because your belief, your faith, your divinity are all working in tandem. And you don't have to explain that. As a matter of fact, it's best if you don't explain that. Just do it. Just do it. And the doing it is not going to come from doing it in a way that people recognize. They're going to feel it build, they're going to feel it building. They will feel it building before they even see what it actually is. And they're gonna be like, it's something different going over there. And then they're gonna start checking in and tuning in and hey, 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 because energy does work like that. Energy is not this like pointed thing where it's like it goes this way and that's the way it is. So if you understand energy and you're an energetic person, then you know this is not the time to conform and to make things very straight-laced and be the way that they've always been. It's time to dig into your reserves. It's time to go into that space where you're like, you know what? This world needs a whole bunch of color, soul, and variety right now. It's getting too tame and too tight and too singular. And I don't really have space for that in my life. I can't live that kind of life. So there must be a life for me to live. There must be space for me to do something else because I just can't live as a person that's just going to be by the book and by the letter and dot every I and cross every T. And if that's your cup of tea, that's beautiful. Do that. It's not mine. So then I have to do mine, right? And your cup of tea might be to look at what everyone is doing and say, let's get it all uniform and all together so that it can just be one united fist. And if that's the case, you're going to see a couple of fingers start to pop up from that fist because there are people that are not interested in doing that, and nor were they born to do that. Do what you were born to do. And if people have a problem with it, let them have a problem with it. Because whatever their problem is with it is typically the reflection of it. It is not simply just this idea that they have a problem with you. They have a problem with your presence because it's irritating what they're doing. Because those of you who are free willed, like myself, and you are free to do what you want, and you know that, and other people are free to do what they want, you don't care about what other people are expressing. If they want to express next to nothing or everything, it doesn't bother you any because you are, creating your life and cultivating it in a way that it either skips past what it's not or it never reaches you to begin with. Because energetically, it's not going to come on your doorstep. It doesn't connect to you in any way. So then it doesn't matter to you in any way if that's how other people express themselves. And we are living in a place now where people are starting to, criticize other people's ways of living. And that is truly a sign of the time because your ways of living are not at all connected to the way that other people perceive it. It is your life. And just because you have a platform or a public microphone in your life doesn't mean you need to get on it and start talking. Doesn't mean you need to get on it and defend yourself. It would be like anything else. The mic is on. Okay, you can hear it if you're listening. As a matter of fact, if you're really listening, you don't need a mic. And this is how it all comes together. And so what I'm saying to you is this is historical. Pre-technology that we call technology, we had another technology. That's spiritual technology. That's the ancestral technology. All of these technologies that existed in strength before there was physical digital technology. And I need you to know they're still there. They didn't go anywhere. They weren't erased. They're not gone. If you got blood flowing through your veins, they're still there. And I don't want this to get too abstract where you be like, "Oh, you lost me because I don't understand what's concrete about what you're saying." What's concrete about what I'm saying is you doing it. What's concrete about what I'm saying is you embodying it. It's you deciding that it belongs with you and making that solid within yourself and standing solid on that and then watching what you do. This is an exercise of trust. If you don't have trust, you can't exercise it. If you don't believe that what it is that you're doing and who it is that you are has the ability to create something that needs to be, that is not here, if you are listening with a certain intention and certain direction towards what needs to be in creation, then you will not understand what I'm talking about. If all of your directives come from a book or come from someone telling you what to do, and you never have enough space in your life to be able to listen in, one, I would love to invite you to a consultation so we can get you going. But two, I would love for you to understand that there is another option. There's another option in all of this. And that option is like really bringing the best and the truest parts of yourself forward and not in this false authenticity that people preach, where it's really still about marketing, manipulating story. I'm talking about authenticity as it relates to who you are and who you know you are, and that deep, deep, deep soul capacity that you have, having a place to exist, not just in your mind, not just trapped in your body, but having a place to exist, and you starting to do the work to, at the very least, in the beginning, leak pieces of it out. Think of it like a freedom jaunt. Like when there's time and there's space, you need to be able to say what you need to be able to say because you're not waiting for other people to say it because it's present with you now. And then people start sending you your words through other people, and you're like, right. That's why I said it. I didn't need the confirmation. That's why I said it. And so it becomes this energy that is so beautiful. And just let it go. When things fall out of your life, whether it is people, opportunities, money, I want you to do something that I used to tell my students to do all the time. And I learned this in the beautiful land of Bali. This is bless it out of your life as it leaves. Bless it. Bless it, bless it, bless it. If I have money and I have to give that money up, bless it. I bless it. I bless it. Tenfold, I bless it. Not only am I saying it's okay for it to leave, but I also am blessing the blessings when they come in. I'm never not noticing the blessing. I'm always noticing, like, man, this person, this opportunity, this process, this failure, this moment, this money, this food, this experience, this talent, this gift, this dwelling, this place. Mm. Because if you don't do that, then that's where the magic starts to die. You don't do that, which means you don't understand what's actually happening. It means you're not following the story. It means that you have put down the script when you start to see those blessings. You put it away. You said, I don't want that anymore. And now what I'm looking at, I want to welcome into my home. I want to welcome it into my life. You're a part of my life. Come on in. You start doing that. And the moment you start doing that, you start to see what was trying to talk to you the whole time. It starts talking to you louder and longer. You start getting downloads that take you an hour to decode. You start getting these very, very, very large sums of interest of things that were just sitting there the whole time. You start realizing that there's nothing that can stop you. And I'm only sharing this because this is what I'm going through. This is what I've been quiet about. This is what's been in my head, in my notebook, in my life. This is the sacred process that's been going on within me. This is the way in which I see my life right now that keeps me smiling while pure. craziness is happening. This is the part of me that understands that there is a thread, and the seed that is running through my life is about life itself. I am interested and curious about life. I love life. I love the spiritual threads that run through it, behind it, and underneath it. And above it, quite frankly, around it. I love living. And I love meeting people who also love living. I love the exuberance that comes from creation and comes from the collaboration between people, whether that's in something as minor as, what some people might say as conversation or just community. That's not minor to me. Those are big things because they move us out of states. It's like I'm a person who understands that the state that you're in is a state you can be stuck in if you don't have no motion. And so people talk about motion. They like, oh, there's certain people that have motion, or there's certain people that have this or that. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their something, right, Nikki Costa? Everybody's got it. But it's like we keep playing like we don't have it because it's like it doesn't fit into this format. And then that makes you look crazy if you know you got it and then other people know that you know you got it. So, like, pretend like you ain't got it. Minimize the gift. Let's not be too clear about who we are. Except if you spent your days getting clear about who you are, why is that not what you lead with? I'm not going to pretend I'm not who I am. I'm not going to pretend you're not who you are. Even if you're trying to do it in front of me, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not doing it, sis. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. And the main reason I'm not doing it is because who you actually are is a gift to the rest of us. Who you actually are provides opportunities that your vision may not be looking at and can't see, but opens up when you share it. So I can't sit up here and pretend that you're not exactly who you are. I have to get into the place where I understand that exactly who you are is exactly who needs to show up exactly when you do. And that those gifts may be valuable in this space or they may not be valuable in this space, but it doesn't mean they're not valuable. And the same is true of me as I move through the world. And so, again, as for things that leave your life and things that come into your life, same thing with people. Big up people for what they provide. Don't worry about what they don't provide. That'll be accounted for otherwise, or you don't need it. Don't worry about what they don't provide. Big up what people provide. Big up what people provide. Big up what people provide because they didn't have to. And sometimes they didn't even know they did. And sometimes it gave them life to do it at a time when the rest of life wasn't giving them life. Those are creations as well. That is art. That's like the art of community. That's like the art of helping, doing your part. You're not required to, and no one should be entitled to something that is not for them. But we all have these gifts and we got to spread them around. And not only can we spread them around, we can enlarge and collaborate and connect with and elevate other people's gifts. And that is also part of our art form, part of our work. We got to get this mycelium moving, y'all. We can't we can't keep watching nature tell us how it goes and then doing things that are unnatural, as a matter of fact, more artificial, and expecting those things to be the future. What is historical is also futuristic. And the only thing that's in the center of the two is this present moment. So lock in, tap in, and get moving. Thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. you know, I'm here. I'm here. It's not just about, sure, I can tell you, go to stacypatrice.com. I've got a class called To the East that's coming up. It's a wonderful program about sidereal astrology. I've got consultations that can help you with everything from your self-identity to your relationships to your business to your creative ideas to building something that feels so empowering that you need someone in thought partnership to talk to about it. I can do all of the above, can, will, and have. And also, I create art. So when you see this video, there may be some art on sale on my site, original artwork from my hand, from my mind to my hand. There could be music there. I don't know what's going to be there. Just tap in, stay connected, and I'll talk to y'all on the next video. In the meantime, not only have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, make it strong, and also make sure that you remind yourself that even in those tough moments where things happen, that you're like, now, why is this happening? Don't sink into the vibration of what is happening. Find yourself saying, thank you for that leverage to whatever is next, because now I know, and knowing is half the battle. Knowing is part of the formula of your becoming. And as soon as you understand and you know what's really going on and you study yourself in this way, you start to understand why it had to happen to you that way. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.